Hi, IVA families. My name is Jackie Bryant. I'm the principal at IVA. I'm also an IVA parent.
Hi, families. I'm Dama Perez. I'm the program administrator at IVA.
Hi, families. I'm Amos Mikaela, counselor here at IVA.
Hi there, I'm Carrie Noble. I'm a math teacher at IVA.
Hi, this is Kathy Simpson, and I'm one of the other math teachers at IVA.
And I'm Gabi Schmidt. I'm the third math teacher at IVA and also a parent to a seventh grader, as well as parent to kids at two other schools.
We are here recording this to give you information about IVA's hybrid model. We want to get you the information about when we start and the bell schedule. Our goal is within 4 minutes to give you all this information, then we'll provide more information. But as we communicate to you, we really want to make sure that we are communicating this as a mission, IVA mission-based decision. We want to demonstrate our carefulness and thoroughness. We will give you the timeline, the bell schedule. We'll review a few safety protocols. We want to consider the transition for families and let you know what the next steps are. And thank you, families, for completing your survey. It helped us get to this point.
So here is some information you've been waiting to hear. This is our April timeline, our timeline for when we will return back to in-person instruction. So you'll see here that next week on Thursday, the 1st, April 1st, we have a faculty academy. This was originally scheduled for the 23rd of this month. We shifted that faculty academy to next Thursday. So next Thursday, April 1st, will be a pupil-free day where our teachers are on campus to help sort out some of the logistics for when we return. What this means is that spring break is extended for your students by 1 day. So spring break will be Thursday, April 1st through Friday the 9th, and we resume school Monday, April 12th as normal, advisory asynchronous learning. The week of the 12th through the 16th, you should expect to hear communication from us about your group assignments for when you return to in-person instruction. You'll learn more information on a family agreement. That week also is a minimum day schedule all week for 8th grade conferences. So you should expect to hear more from us as well regarding how to sign up for your conferences. The week of the 19th is when we hope that our teachers return to campus. So this is the first week where our hybrid bell schedule would begin. Our teachers will be on campus and students will be at home. We're hoping that this 1 week gives our teachers time to kind of adjust to the new schedule and practice the transitions that we'll have for when students return the following week. Our goal is for our students to return the week of the 26th. So we will have teachers and students and staff members on campus. We're hoping by the last week of April.
So we figured it out, the magic day. Monday will still be advisory and asynchronous, but starting on Tuesday, April 27th, we will begin in person, the hybrid bell schedule, students and teachers there. And we wanted to make sure that you knew that all staff and teachers participated in the decision of this schedule. It took a lot of versions and a lot of communication between everybody. We considered models wanting to ensure enough time for deep understanding and also connections with students, but also balancing all the safety protocols and considerations that we want for everyone to stay safe. So here is where we landed. We landed on 75-minute class blocks, and the day is only staggered by 10 minutes between grade levels. So as you can see, 6th graders come first at 8:20, and their first block is 75 minutes. And then after that, the 7th graders arrive at 8:30, and their block is 75 minutes. And after that, 8th graders arrive at 8:40, and their first block is 75 minutes. Every grade level will then have a staggered 20-minute break and then their next block, and then a staggered 30-minute break, which would include an opportunity to snack, which we'll go over more later. And then their last block of the day will end at 3 slightly staggered times, and then there will be a lunch to go at the end of the day as well. I believe this is the end of the new, very important content. So if you keep with us on the video, you're going to learn more about how your student schedule might look and a lot of the safety protocols and other more detailed information. But if that's enough for you, then that might be as much as you need to watch, but I will pass it on.
Thanks, Kathy. So with the transition from online learning to an in-person hybrid model, we are aiming to keep every student class schedule the same from their distance learning schedule to in-person. And what that means is we've taken every roster and we've removed or the students who were identified for distance learning, and then we split every roster in half from Group A and Group B. So if you look at the schedule right here, you'll see that Group A comes into school on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Group B will be Zooming into class Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, Friday, Group B will be switching to going in person. And then Group A will be Zooming from home. All the while, throughout Tuesday and Friday, everyone who is in for distance learning will be tuning in via Zoom. So with that being said, I believe this information was also shared earlier, but the Group A and Group B assignments will be given in the week of April 12th, I believe. Yeah.
And I'd love to just add that in this model, it means that students are going into class with their teachers the same amount of days of the week. So 2 days will be in person, 2 days will be online, but it's the same classes of students. We've kept things as much the same as we possibly can. We want to minimize the transition. Any more information about this, Mr. McKelly?
I think that might be it. We'll notify families that week of their Group A and Group B assignments. And then, yeah.
I do also want to add that there are some families that are making a decision of whether they want to have their child come to in-person, depending on which students their kids have access to. And so we might know the week of April 12th through 16th, or you as a family might be able to make a final decision. Do you actually want your child to come to school based on what the students' friends' assignments are? And we totally understand that. Families can opt to remain in distance learning for the remainder of the year. They just cannot opt to go from distance learning to in-person because our schedules will be finalized.
Okay, there's a lot of information on this slide, which you're welcome to read through all of it. A lot of it has already been communicated in the past, but there's a few new things. One new thing is there's going to be this family agreement that before students come back on campus, and teachers and staff are going to prepare students really well so they know exactly what to expect and they can feel success coming back on campus. We also have identified that students can be in a cohort of 30, and because of the size of our school, those cohorts are going to correspond to their grade level on their A or B day. So that means that students can move from classroom to classroom after their breaks, as long as they stay in grade level specific classrooms. So they will be moving to 3 different rooms, but those rooms will only be used by members of their own grade level. We will, of course, keep all safety and cleaning protocols in place, but that's just a nice little addition to our schedule. We also added that slightly longer break, so we'd have the opportunity to provide brunch during the second break and pass that out. Students will be given a very specific and safe designated location on the blacktop where they're allowed to eat. To-go lunch will be available for pickup after school. And I think that's it for this slide. I think that's all that's new.
Okay, so as many of you probably know, the state has assigned kind of these tiers for what our county is in, and we've been shifting from purple to, I think now we're officially in the red, and it looks like we're headed for the orange. And all of this fluidity makes it difficult to make plans because things seem to always be changing. So we have taken that into account and have been really careful to try and create a plan that we feel can withstand the fluctuations of these tiers, and that we can keep in place for the remainder of the school year. I know as a parent of 3 kids in 3 different schools with all these changing schedules, it's reassuring to me to know that this plan that we've come up with is what we're going to use as the year progresses through the end of this school year. Even if we get to like the yellow tier, what we have presented is what we'll use for the remainder of this school year. So yeah, that's Yeah.
So one of the questions that both parents but also our teachers and staff are really returning to over and again. I imagine that you are thinking about this as well as you're thinking about the transition for your kids. But how will we as a school ensure that we're making sure that all kids are seen and cared for? Will there be loss of relationship? Will there be loss in the transition? I think these are some of the concerns and fears that we wonder when we transition to something that is unknown. And I just want to assure our families that this has been the question that is deepest on the minds of our staff. Everything that we are doing is in order to make sure that our students continue to be seen and cared for, whether they are in person, whether they've selected distance learning for the remainder of the year. All of our plans are putting things into place in order to only increase the connection in the remainder of this year. And actually, this is part of the reason why it's been so hard to make a final decision, because this has been our priority. So families, we care about you, we care about your kids, and we want to make sure that you know that every individual child in our classroom is one that we're caring for, no matter how they're able to log into our class or to be with us. We have so much more that we're going to be communicating with you over the next days and weeks. We will be announcing dates for fireside chat so that you can process this information, and then also the information about group assignments, any specific questions that you have. April 12th is an exciting next date for you all after spring break, when you'll be receiving the group assignments. So all this information was before, I'm just reviewing. And then the 12th through the 16th is the final time that families should notify IVA if you're going to opt to turn from in-person back into distance learning for the remainder of the year. We're also going to have information about asymptomatic staff, teacher, and student screening prior to coming in person. That will be communicated to you. And then there's a lot of information about the family agreement. We want to make sure that, as Ms. Noble said, we want to make sure that students are very clear about what the protocols are, that they know how to abide by them, that we're communicating very clearly with our students. And so April 19th, we have a new schedule. Instead of those 80-minute classes, we have 75-minute classes with the adjusted breaks. That all begins April 19th, and the 27th through the very last day of school, which is June 16th. That will be the day we have promotion for our 8th graders. We're on our new hybrid schedule. One thing that I know that you can do, if you are thinking, how can we support IVA? I'm sure that's what you're thinking at the end of this, but one thing that you can do is encourage anybody that you know that's interested in in-person work and might have the space and time. We are hiring instructional aides to support our classrooms and our teachers. We are hiring recreation aides to be able to support students social emotionally and also supervision wise. So please send your interested family members to apply for a job at IVA. And I think any final comments? We didn't plan for this, but families, thank you for your patience, your generosity. In looking through all of the comments that came through the feedback, I continue to be overwhelmed by the way that you have been gracious to such unknowns and information, and patient in the way that it's taken us time to make a final decision. We are a very small school, and so we can be personalized, but we're pulling this off together. And we're glad that you're here with us. So we continue to be in relationship with you and look forward to our next steps. Have a great day. Goodbye.